live from the YouTubes on a Monday. It's Monday. What's the date? November 16th. We're halfway through, almost to December. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream. For everyone joining me on this Monday, I appreciate it. I had some big internet problems yesterday, so I wasn't able to do my typical live stream on a Sunday, but it doesn't matter. We're still here. Now, you notice the title of this video. We do have some celebrating to do. I did promise a very special Q&A. Now, if I would have done this video yesterday, this would not have been a 75K thing. We just hit 75K yesterday, right? So I wanted to kind of make that the theme of today's video, but this is not what I promised you all when I said there would be a big old celebration. I am going to grab another YouTuber off the interwebs, and we are going to do a special Q&A later on in the week. So stay tuned to that. That will be the official kind of, having a guest on, doing something fun, something different. But this is a good opportunity to just kind of talk about and celebrate the fact that we did hit a really cool milestone on this channel. So for everyone joining in the chat, we have hello from Tyler, Senate Thoughts, Orlin, as always. Thank you guys so much. My nice haircut. Thank you. I said get rid of it. And they did, because I was sick of it. I appreciate everyone. Shashank, who is a part of the Patreon page, says, congratulations, Austin. Very well deserved. Wishing you many more subscribers in the coming years. God bless you, man. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Now, speaking of Patreon, if you joined into today's live stream, it's a really cool opportunity I have for you guys. So I have this box. And Shashank, thank you for kind of segueing us into this. If you guys are a part of the Patreon page, and even if you're not a part of the Patreon page, I am doing a really cool giveaway. There are, I believe, 6 items in this box. Really cool. Some of them pretty off. I mean, this isn't, I got the cheapest stuff I could find. We've got some pretty cool things in here, from maybe a little pop figure to a little Marvel theme. That's just a lot of stuff. I don't want to give away what it is. But if you all are a member of the Patreon page, and even if you're not, I will put this up later today so you can still enter. I will be doing a giveaway on Patreon to kind of celebrate the 75,000 subscriber mark that we hit on this channel. Now, if you're not a member, no big deal. I still appreciate all the support you guys give to the channel. But for everyone already on Patreon, and if you have the opportunity, that link is in the description. I will be doing a really cool giveaway. The last giveaway that I did was that Deathstroke DVD. If you guys didn't watch that video, the winner of that was Ace. I sent him the DVD and a little something special. So to Ace, for winning that competition, I just wanted to give you a shout out, man. Congratulations. I know you're an Eagles fan, but that's okay. I actually have no problem with the Eagles. So I appreciate that, everybody who entered and everyone who is, and in the future, if that opportunity comes, is a part of Patreon, that's kind of my way of rewarding you. You have at least a week, so I'll give you guys a week if you're not there yet. But if you are there and you're watching this, y'all go enter. I'll have that post later on today. So appreciate it, guys. Let's get into the chat room and see what everybody's saying. We have, hey, man, we got congrats on 75K. Thank you so much. Congrats. You guys, literally so awesome. Your Sing Street suggestion worked for me. Need one to watch with my girlfriend. Ooh, man, Sing Street's a pretty good one. Oh, with the girlfriend. Let's stick with John Carney. It's called Begin Again. Stars Mark Ruffalo. You'll see him on the poster. A very similar movie to Sing Street, but the perfect movie, in my opinion, to watch with your girlfriend. It's actually the first movie that my wife and I watched together, called Begin Again. So definitely check that out if you get the opportunity, and everybody popping up in the chat. Let me make sure we don't have any super chats before we get started. We do have one. Believe in the hype. Do you prefer DC New 52 or the Rebirth comics? Oh, it's man, that's tough. There's a bit of good, there's a bit of great with each. Speaking of DC, we talked about that competition. I would say right now, New 52, just because that's what I was kind of engrossed in when it came out. It was such a big deal, and I really enjoyed the storylines. But the Rebirth comics, there's a lot good there as well. So I would give the edge to New 52, though. I'm just a huge fan, especially when it comes to the art style of a lot of those characters and just the costumes and whatnot. I just thought they were super cool. Maybe in the minority there. Yeah, but I think both I think really my favorite DC is just kind of the classic DC when you're talking, the original, the OG Superman, exploring the different Green Lanterns and someone like a Dr. Fate. But in terms of those two, I would say New 52 for sure. Let's see. Orland says, my review of Paranormal hit 1,000 views. That's awesome, Orland. Yeah, man, Paranormal. People were very, very excited for that, especially in Egypt. Like that, those videos, I think, for a lot of people across the board did great, man. But that 1,000 views, that is awesome. That is so freaking awesome. Keep going, man. And I like seeing your channel grow as well. Mike in the super chat says, congrats, Austin. Thank you so much, Mike. And thank you guys for joining me on a Monday here. I know it's kind of a random day, but we're going to try to get back on track next Sunday if we don't have any more Wi-Fi issues. Marvin says, Austin, you're hands down not just my favorite movie critic. You're also one of my favorite YouTubers. Thank you so much. That's a grand comparison. There's a lot of YouTubers. By the way, congrats to 75K. Hope you hit 100K by the end of the year. Thank you so much. My goal is to hit it next year. For sure. So if we can hit 100K next year, that would be awesome. But we're going to keep kind of pushing this channel forward and see if we can keep growing. And that would be great. By the way, if you guys want to hit that like button on this video, if you're joining me and you're asking questions, that is definitely enough for me. But my goal with these, even though it's Monday, we don't have as many people today, is to always hit 100 likes on this video. So if we can do that, it helps this channel grow and continue. The next goal is 80K. We're going to strive to get there as quick as possible. And the more interaction I get with you guys, the more the channel's able to grow. And I just appreciate, even if it's just a random comment telling me how your day is, I appreciate all the interaction, guys. It really does help this channel out immensely. Also, as always, super chats, I'm going to focus on those just because those kind of stay on my screen as all the chats kind of go in and out. So I appreciate you guys for joining on this Monday. Please rank the Star Trek movies. Comes the smell of adventure. I love that. Oh man, that's a tough one to do. That's a tough one to do. I would love to, though. I'll tell you what, I'm a big fan of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies. I like the OGs for sure. Wrath of Khan, that's where it's at. But I like the J.J. Abrams movies as well. The first two, and then the third, which wasn't directed by J.J., but is in that universe. I'm a big fan. Favorite The Crown season. Oh, that's so tough. I said in my video I couldn't do that. I tell you what, guys, season 4, man, the more I think about it, the more it is growing on me. I definitely put that maybe in my top 2. It's really hard to give you a favorite. I'd say, apologies, I would say, oh, man, I don't know if I can rank them just yet. I'll have to let season 4 soak in, but that may be number 2. My number 1, seasons 1 and 2 are both great. I kind of flip those constantly. I feel like the second season really worked for me. So I'd say season 2, season 4, the even seasons have been my favorite so far. You going to review Fat Man starring Mel Gibson? Yeah, I want to. That was my bad. I didn't request a screener for that one, but as soon as it comes out, I believe tomorrow, right? Is the VOD date tomorrow? I'm going to try my best to review that. I'm definitely interested. For sure. Hi, Austin. What basis can you say Breaking Bad is better than The Sopranos and vice versa? I just think Breaking Bad was consistent from beginning to end. I think Sopranos, even though, one of the greatest series of all time, obviously. So I love both, but I think the consistency is what gets Breaking Bad just slightly over that hump for me. But that's a really tough comparison because I think both are fantastic. Switchboy says you will hit 100K. Thank you so much, Switchboy. I appreciate that, man. We do have a super chat from Marshall. Hey, recognize you, Marshall. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for providing a platform to discuss film. Congrats on 75K and earlier being certified on Rotten Tomatoes. Thank you. I hope you continue to share your thoughts on movies. Keep it up and go Steelers. Yeah. Go Steelers. Yes. Thank you so much for that, Marshall. I appreciate your comments as always. I always recognize you from the profile picture alone, but you always, we have great interactions on here, man. I just appreciate all the love, all the support, the super chat for helping out the channel. Because as you guys know, this is what I do. And it really it means a lot that you guys are just the sweetest, the nicest people. Big time. Do more anime related videos. Yeah, I need to. I want to, and I don't know. I want to do Attack on Titan. Do you guys think I should do that? Because I'm a huge fan of that show. I've just never reviewed it on this channel. So if you're interested, let me know. When are you reviewing Mank? I will be reviewing Mank closer to the release of Mank. So be on the lookout that week, hopefully a couple days before. So that's kind of the goal for me. And same with Hillbilly Elegy. I've already seen Hillbilly Elegy. I'll be reviewing that, or putting out my review really close to that release date, just to make it more kind of appropriate when it comes to the timing. Let's see. Hey, why have you not reviewed His Dark Materials? It's really good, in my opinion. I've heard really good things. I've watched a bit of it. But in terms of where it's gotten to since I haven't watched it, I've heard really good things about it. So yeah, that's definitely something that's on my radar. And it's so funny, I just talking about it. Austin, have you watched Attack on Titan? I think it's incredible. I have watched it. Should I review it? I think I'm getting a little bit of feedback that maybe I should. So I definitely have fun with it. That's for sure, because I think the show is incredible. What is the best or your favorite movie trilogy? So I did a trilogy ranking a while back. Now, this is tough to say what is the best, but in terms of what my favorite is, I think it is the best. I think it's Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is just far and away my favorite movie trilogy. Not far and away. It's close. I love movie trilogies like the new Planet of the Apes trilogy, the OG Star Wars trilogy. I love the Captain America trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy. You cannot forget about that one. Dark Knight being up there. My favorite movies of all time list, obviously. Toy Story. So a lot of really great trilogies. The Cornetto trilogy, which we often forget about when we're talking great trilogies. Oh, and the Before trilogy, which I just immersed myself in this year, and it was just phenomenal. A wonderful experience. So a lot of great ones, but I'd have to go Lord of the Rings. I think that's my favorite, and I would argue, honestly, that is the best trilogy that I've ever seen. But it's very tough. It's very tough. Let's see, guys. We have Hey Austin. Oh, we have another one. Just watched Sing Street last week and loved it. We really love the model. And Drive It Like You Stole It are awesome songs. Congrats. Awesome, Gavin. That's the second person this live stream that's watched Sing Street. So makes me very happy. If you haven't seen John Carney's other films, I think his filmography is a wonderful thing to dive into. I mentioned Begin Again. So yeah, that is awesome, man. Good to hear. Thoughts on the first SpongeBob movie? It's one of my personal favorites of all time. The first SpongeBob movie for me is the OG. I love that movie. Love it, love it, love it. Now that we're men, we can't do anything. Oh, it's so good. And, the second one didn't quite live up to the hype that the first one had. And obviously, SpongeBob isn't as good as it used to be. But that first movie, man, that was like the cap of all cappers for such an incredible show. And really when I kind of fell away from it as well, unfortunately. So, yeah, SpongeBob, obviously, I got the poster, but SpongeBob was one of my favorites of all time. So cool to hear. Let's see. Apologies. I got a little cough, so we're going to try to get that out during this video. Nathan says, disappointed by Hillbilly Elegy. The book changed my life as a college freshman, kept me from dropping out. Wow. Yeah, I was disappointed. I'll talk about it in my review. So be sure to tune into that. It's going to be an interesting release for that movie because I'm interested to see what audiences have to say. Didn't hate it. I think some critics really hated the movie. Didn't hate it, but I was definitely disappointed. So we'll have to see how my Oscar predictions change because of that when I do my next video the next month. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting video for sure. Did you get a screener for Mank? Congrats on 75K. Yeah, like I said, I will be reviewing Mank hopefully a little bit early. Just a little bit early, but it will be closer to the Netflix release date, which is very close. So hopefully you guys be seeing a review for me very, very soon. Are you excited for the Tom and Jerry movie? Did you hear that the trailer is coming out tomorrow? Yes, I'm actually really excited for that. It seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. I like the art style. I think it's interesting. We'll just have to see how it compares with our love and nostalgia for the OG, for the original. So yeah, I'm definitely excited. For sure. Let's go to the next one. Here we have Shashank once again. Ooh, just saw Inglourious Bastards yesterday. Superb film. Really liked it. Yeah, Inglourious Bastards is really, really high on my Tarantino list. It's such a great movie. My favorite for the longest time has been Django, but Pulp Fiction and Inglourious Bastards, they're like right there, man. So yeah, it's a fantastic movie. So glad you got the chance to see it, Shashank. And Man, I want to go back and revisit that movie because every time I watch it with my wife, we crack up and just have the best time. Let's see. Hey, I just started watching the Star Wars movies. So far, I saw The New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, and they are really great. Can you kind of tell me what to expect from the following movies? Well, I'll tell you this. I don't like Return of the Jedi as much as A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. but it's still a great time. It's still an absolutely great time. You know, the prequels, a lot of people find disappointment in, and I kind of agree with those sentiments, but Revenge of the Sith is still one of my favorite Star Wars movies. I love that movie. And then, you know, the new trilogy, very inconsistent, but you get gems in there. I still love The Force Awakens. I still love Rogue One. So, you know, just don't keep your expectations at Empire level, because it never quite reaches those heights again. But I think Return of the Jedi is a great movie to hit next, and you're going to have a really good time with it. I guarantee it. Toy Story, best trilogy by far. Listen, the Toy Story trilogy is now just so consistent. And I throw in the fourth movie as well, even though that's technically not a trilogy. It's so consistent. That franchise is so good at what it's able to do, and capturing young kids, families, adults, hitting every age range. It's perfect. It's the perfect trilogy. I agree with that. I still prefer Lord of the Rings, but oh my goodness, like, which child do you love the most? You know, I love Toy Story. I love Lord of the Rings. Big Play 08 says, just started watching The Last Kingdom. Nice. Only on season 2, but so far it is as quality as any other show in the genre, including Game of Thrones. Yeah, Big Play 08. Yeah, to go watch my latest review once you get to that season. Because you're not there yet. But as soon as you get to that, go watch my review of it, of the latest season. Man, it's awesome. What a great show. What a great show. A lot of people make the Vikings comparison, and I finally started watching Vikings, and I think it is on that level for sure. And I think The Last Kingdom is so entertaining. So glad you started watching, man. That's awesome to hear. Alex says, are you hyped for Soul? I'm so excited. Hopefully. Going to see it here soon. Hopefully. We'll see. But yeah, I'm very excited for Soul. Cannot wait to watch that movie. And I'm hearing it's one of Pixar's best. So we'll just have to see. Let me make sure I don't miss this super chat here, guys. I'll go ahead and get it on the screen before it goes away. Matthew says, I'm in the extreme minority, but Katie Holmes was really underrated. Interesting. The Dark Knight lost some emotional weight since it didn't build off the chemistry that she had with Belle and Batman Begins. Thoughts? So I think I'm on the other side of this, Matthew. I did not like Katie Holmes at all in Batman Begins at all. I just think she's interesting. I don't like the chemistry between the two in that movie. I didn't really think she did that good of a job. That's not to say Katie Holmes is just bad in general. There's just something about the script that didn't really work with her performance, in my opinion. But that's okay, right? I think a lot of people support Katie Holmes in that movie, and I understand that completely. I liked Maggie Gyllenhaal a lot better. Now, it does stink, and I do agree with you. It does stink that they had to bring in someone new and establish chemistry again, right? But I didn't love Katie Holmes in that movie. In my opinion, she was the weakest part of the film. And that's nothing against Katie Holmes. I still think she's fun, especially in a movie like Logan Lucky. I really enjoy her in that. But yeah, Matthew, hey, listen, that's okay, man. That's okay. That's what movies are all about. Have you seen Apocalypse Now? Yes. It's been a couple years. I think I was a junior in college when I saw it last. So it's been a little bit, but yeah, I love that movie so much. I'd say it's up there in my favorite war movies of all time. Absolutely. Do you think there could ever be a good video game movie which elevates on the content? Yeah, absolutely. Never say never in my book, right? I think Sonic did a good job. I don't think it elevated the content, but I think Sonic was fun for what it was, and we've had some fun ones. I even think Rampage was fun. I didn't love Rampage, but I even think Rampage was fun. So maybe Uncharted is that movie. Maybe the Assassin's Creed Netflix show is that show. So we'll just have to see. I'm interested to see how it turns out, though. Fox and the Hound. The scene where Todd gets left alone is the saddest Disney scene. Oh, man. Fox and the Hound. It's so funny because I went to my grandmother's house like every weekend growing up, and she had a VHS of the Fox and the Hound, and that was like my movie to watch when I was at her house. It was that and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. One VHS player, two VHSs, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Fox and the Hound. I would just rotate. That's something I've never really said before on air. So I love Fox and the Hound. It's such a good movie. It's up there, probably top 10 Disney films for me. A lot of nostalgia, but definitely. The Shawshank Redemption, when we're talking, I guess we're just talking the Shawshank Redemption. I love the Shawshank Redemption, man. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. Better villains, Spider-Man or Batman. Believe in the hype with the questions today, man. Loving the questions. Man, I don't know. I mean, the Batman's always, kind of the ultimate rogues gallery, but then you look at Spider-Man, you got Venom and Green Goblin and Doc Ock and Chameleon and Kraven the Hunter, and oh my goodness, I don't know if I can compare the two. I'd say Batman more. Mhm. Batman has the more famous set of villains, but Spider-Man probably has a more well-rounded set of villains, because a lot of Batman's villains, like the Penguin and the Riddler, they don't have superpowers. Like Spider-Man's villains, Doc Ock technically doesn't have superpowers, but you look at someone like Venom and you look at Chameleon and how strong Kraven the Hunter is, man, that's tough. Rhino, Mysterio, ooh, well, maybe I'm talking myself into Spider-Man. Oh, that's hard. I can't determine yet. I can't determine. That is a tough one for sure. Best Pixar movie ever. I don't know if it's necessarily the best, but it is my favorite Pixar movie. It is The Incredibles and Toy Story. Those are my two favorite Pixar films. I think they're both fantastic. And man, that is tough though, because you've got phenomenal movies like Ratatouille and Monsters Inc. And some people, from what I've heard, Soul is up there. Obviously, Inside Out and Coco, I think, is a beautiful film. So that is a tough comparison to make. But if you're asking me my favorite, it's between The Incredibles and Toy Story. I think they're both just fantastic. Let's see. Man of Steel or Iron Man. I love both, but I prefer Iron Man. That's how I am. I prefer Iron Man, but I am on Team Man of Steel, and I always have been. I think Man of Steel is a fantastic movie. It is my Superman story, in my opinion. So, yes, I would definitely say Iron Man, but I think Man of Steel is fantastic. Let's keep going here, guys. All right, we've got have you seen The Witcher, Austin? Oh, by the way, my cousin in the chat. What's up, Joseph? What's up, Joe? Joe, comic book aficionado. What's going on, buddy? Fire and Ice. Have you seen The Witcher, Austin? Yes, I've seen The Witcher. It's great. It really is great. I can't wait for the next season. It is one that I think is a little bit difficult to understand, but I think it's enough to appease fans and bring in a new audience, obviously, because the show performed fantastically. Let's see here. We've got a couple here. We've got what is your favorite Mark Wahlberg movie? Hey, everybody, it's me, Mark Wahlberg. Not Transformers. Let's see. Lone Survivor or The Departed. I think maybe my favorite two. Let's say Mark Wahlberg performances, because the man really is a good actor. We just don't take him serious. But then we get something like Lone Survivor. We get Patriots Day. We get so many of those, that director-actor combination he's been in so many movies with. But then something like The Departed, which I think he's phenomenal in, man. Mark Wahlberg is a good, underrated actor, in my opinion. And the guy doesn't get enough credit. Here we go. Ryan, thoughts on To Kill a Mockingbird? Congrats on 75K. So it's funny because To Kill a Mockingbird was one of those things that we were required to do in high school. We had to read the book. We had to watch the movie. And, I watched it with the mindset of, oh, it's homework, or, it's schoolwork. I'm not having a good time. But reflecting on the film, I actually think it's a really good movie. So I really enjoyed the book as well. The more I think about it, it just, at the time, it's kind of the situation of, oh, it's schoolwork. Don't really want to do this. I want to go out and have fun with my friends. But the reflection aspect of it tells me, yeah, it's really good source material. So Ryan, very interesting super chat, man. Nice, something I haven't thought of since high school. So it's interesting to kind of reflect on those things and appreciate them much more so the older that you get. Vanya, what's up, Vanya? Hey, Austin, back when the Clone Wars came out, you said you'd review it, and then we had some special Star Wars stuff happening. So, new Mando season? Yeah. I did not review the new Clone Wars only because I was in that mindset of, Rise of Skywalker was still kind of fresh. I'm like, I don't know if I want to deal with the Star Wars right now because, the Star Wars fan base is like, kind of divided and like angry all the time. But yeah, I'm doing Mando every single week, the individual episode reviews, and I definitely plan on doing a Mando season review and a season spoiler talk. But as for now, you guys can get my individual episode thoughts every single Friday. I'll be dropping those videos. But I did love Clone Wars, the new season, and it was nice to kind of sit and enjoy it and not have to worry about a review, not put notes down and things like that. Sometimes it's just fun. That's why I like going back and watching The Office. It's like I just don't have to write anything. I can just enjoy it, turn my brain off. But Clone Wars, definitely the newest season, was very, very fun for sure. Let's see. Are you excited for The Servant season 2? Yeah, I actually am. I did finish it. I do want to talk about it when it comes out. I will be receiving those screeners from Apple, so I'll definitely be talking about it. And yeah, Shyamalan, man, it's he's an interesting director for sure, but I think The Servant had a lot of interesting things in there for sure. I liked Netflix's You. Please recommend something like that. Well, the obvious one is Dexter. We could say Dexter for sure. You is very one of a kind, though. It's very one of a kind, and it doesn't work for everyone. I've heard a lot of people say it's just not as good as other movies and TV shows in the genre, but I enjoy it. So if you haven't seen Dexter, I think that's one to watch for sure. Let's keep going here, guys. We're still talking Iron Man and Man of Steel. Eric went with Iron Man. Let's keep going here. We got, what's your favorite Spider-Man movie? I like this. Got to go into the Spider-Verse. Followed by Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2, and then Spider-Man Homecoming. Those are my three favorite Spider-Man movies. And I really am a big fan of all the interpretations of the character for sure. Shashank, once again, hey man, just in case you missed the chat, Orlin Harris's reaction to Black Bottom on Twitter was retweeted by Coleman Domingo, who's the man. Oh, very cool. Orlin, I didn't see your chat, man. That is awesome. Yeah, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. That's hopefully one I'm going to get to watch soon. I need to request my screener for it, but I'm hearing great things, man. Chadwick's performance, might need to rethink my Oscar. I mean, I've got him in my top 3, obviously, but I might have to rethink my winner from that because I'm hearing Chadwick is a beast in that movie. And obviously Viola Davis as well. Let's keep going here, guys. We've got Switch Boy. Another Hope video games become movies. Forza, Mario Odyssey. Oh, that'd be fun. Mario Galaxy. Wii Sports Resort. GTA 5. Spider-Man PS4. I would like to see the story from Spider-Man PS4 kind of be taken and molded into some sort of movie. I don't think we'll ever get it. But yeah, I like that. I like that for sure. Jared Smith says, what is your favorite, South Park or The Simpsons? Oh, man. That is tough. That is so tough. I loved The Simpsons growing up. I love South Park. I think I got to go with The Simpsons just because it's more kind of classic. But in terms of the funnier episodes and the more standout episodes of the series, I think I got to go South Park. I've never been a massive Simpsons fan, but I really appreciate just the consistency with that show. Now, I haven't really watched it the last couple of years, but in terms of where it was in the 90s and whatnot and how incredible it used to be, but I think the funnier show is definitely South Park. I mean, South Park is so freaking funny, man. That show is hilarious. I need to go back and catch. Oh, and the special, the pandemic special. I still need to watch that. I've heard great things. So speaking of my cousin Joe was talking about it to me, man. I need to see it for sure. Believe in the Hype with another great question. Favorite live action superhero suit? Oh, man. I don't know if it's my favorite. It's hard to determine a favorite. I love, well, let's just throw in Ben Affleck's Batman suit. I think that Batman suit is fantastic, very comic book accurate. I love Captain America's Winter Soldier suit. That is obviously one of my favorite Marvel movies, but I think his Winter Soldier suit is beastly. And I was talking about this on Twitter the other day. Andrew Garfield's suit in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. That is very classic Spider-Man for me, and I like classic Spider-Man. You could also say Tobey's suit is very classic Spider-Man, but that Andrew Garfield suit, man, and I know the movie obviously isn't the best Spider-Man movie, but man, what a great superhero suit. In terms of my number one favorite, that's tough. That's something I got to think about. Got to take in all these things to factor in determining a winner. But those are just some that come to my mind. And obviously Iron Man, very comic book accurate for sure. Let's see. South Park for sure. Talking South Park and The Simpsons. Can't go wrong with either of them. Hello, Austin and chat. Hello, Malaka Luke. What's going on? How you doing? Let's see. The Simpsons or The Family Guy. Got to go Family Guy there. Family Guy out of the three. I just love Family Guy. And I know consistency is kind of an issue with that show. But the ones that are my favorites are the ones that I just constantly quote and constantly get excited about. So good. So good. I love Family Guy. I've answered this before, but let's talk about it again. Peele versus Astor versus Eggers. I would go Astor, and Ari Aster is, I think, my number one at this point. And it used to be easily Peele over Eggers, but Eggers with The Lighthouse just kind of blew me away, man. Blew me away. So those last two are hard, but I think Ari Aster may be my favorite just because Hereditary, I think, is such a masterclass of a movie for sure. Let's see. Do you like American Dad? Oh, clicked on the wrong thing. Series like Stranger Things. Do you like American Dad or Bob's Burgers? Love both, but in terms of picking one, oh, it's tough, man. I used to not be the biggest Bob's Burgers fan, and then I sat down and actually started watching it, and I fell in love with the show. So maybe Bob's Burgers, but you can't go wrong with a little American Dad. How many subscribers do you hope to hit by 2020's end? Man, I mean, we almost over. So, I mean, if I can hit 80, I'll be happy. But 75 was kind of the goal for quite some time. So I appreciate you guys getting me there and getting me to that point. And by the way, if you're just joining in, thank you so much for joining today. And whether it's a super chat or just a chat or getting this video to 100 likes, which is kind of the goal. And it's not a goal just to be a goal. It's a goal because it really does, man. These live streams, they're growing the channel. It's part of the reason why I got to 75K, and your all support. Like, I know it's cliche. It's cliche to say it, but your all support is really what keeps this channel going and allows me to focus on YouTube. And the fact that I can, review movies and talk about TV shows on this channel is really just a blessing. So I appreciate you guys so much for joining in today, helping out the channel, leaving the likes, and all of the wonderful comments I have in the chats. You guys are awesome. Best anime of all time. I think I've said this before. My favorite season of anime is One Punch Man. Attack on Titan is slowly moving into my best. And man, best of all time. I mean, I'm a Dragon Ball guy. It's hard not to go with Dragon Ball. So those three are kind of the marquee anime shows for me. But in terms of movies, Spirited Away, Your Name, Princess Mononoke. I mean, those are that's chef's kiss. Abigail says, came back from my first deployment from Iraq. I'm in the Canadian military. Very, very nice. My husband and I enjoy your videos. Also, what's your favorite military movie? Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Abigail. That is so cool. Very, very cool that you watch my channel in general, but I appreciate the super chat big time. And in terms of a great question, what's your favorite military movie? I'm a big fan. I like war movies in general. I do. I'm a huge fan of the military in general. Just kind of keeping up with that. And my best friend, he was in the Army, just recently came out of the Army, and I have a lot of family members in the military. So I would say Saving Private Ryan, 1917. Those are the two ones for me. Saving Private Ryan, 1917. But Band of Brothers, you can never forget about that. I know it's a limited series, but Band of Brothers is a great one to mention as well. It's hard to determine between those two movies which one is my number one favorite, but those are the two that I always bring up. So thank you so much for the super chat, and stay safe and continue to just I'm sure you're doing incredible things, and your husband and you guys are just the best for supporting the channel. So I appreciate that big time. Cam on Camera says, just finished The Crown. Very nice. The Crown. There's no D in there. Emma Corrin, who plays Diana, is a revelation, my God, from her mannerisms to the cadence in her voice. Cam, I agree with you. I completely agree with you. Emma Corrin was awesome. Now, the standout for me was Gillian Anderson as Margaret Thatcher. I thought Gillian crushed the role. But you can't forget about Emma Corrin. You just can't. She was so good. Now, I did hear that I believe someone else is playing Diana in the next season. So it's going to be odd, but there is a time jump as always. But man, Emma Corrin was so good. I completely agree with you, Cam. I really do. Let's keep going. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats here, guys. What is your least favorite streaming service and your favorite? My least favorite is Quibi. That didn't work out. My favorite, Netflix is still the one with the most content, but I'll tell you what, HBO Max is, as soon as it comes on Roku, it's going to be in heavy competition. And obviously I love Disney Plus, but right now there's just a gap between, we got The Mandalorian, but that's about it, right? So HBO Max and Netflix are probably my two favorites. I can't forget about Hulu. There's a lot of good streaming services, but Quibi is my least favorite. Did we get 100 likes? Thank you guys so much for getting me to that mark, man. It really does make a huge difference on this channel with these videos and all of my videos in general. Obviously, the more likes, then the better the videos perform and the better the channel does. But I appreciate you guys big time for getting me there, man. That's always kind of the goal with these. Let's keep going here, guys. We got a director swap. Martin Scorsese, Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi, The Wolf. I would love to see Waititi's Wolf of Wall Street. That's my choice. Now, Scorsese, obviously not a massive fan of superhero movies, but it would be interesting. I am going to say Taika Waititi, Wolf of Wall Street. I don't know if it would be as good, but it would definitely be interesting for sure. Let's see. Ooh, Heat or Collateral. Oh, Gavin. That's tough. It's hard not to go with Heat. I think I'm going to go with Heat, but Collateral's great. That's tough. I love both of those. Spielberg or Scorsese? You can't be neutral. I think I'm going to go Scorsese because of consistency. Spielberg, obviously, I think the more grandiose, blockbuster-esque director with maybe some movies that I even prefer over some of Scorsese's films. But Scorsese, I think, is a little bit more consistent. Matt, Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, talking about my favorite war films. It's got to be that 1917. Hey, Austin, congrats on 75K. What is the process of getting a screener? Just curious. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. First off, you have to be, you have to have kind of something that can be verifiable, right? I've got the channel. So I use the channel when I email these companies, and that's how you do it normally is you email the people involved with the specific movies or the people involved with the specific studios. And then they say, okay, well, this person is a film critic. And I have Rotten Tomatoes and Critics' Choice as well. So once I'm verified, that's when they can go about the screener process. So there has to be a verification there, but a lot of email sending, right? If you have a website or something, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to send an email to a company and ask if you can get a screener for this movie. Whether it's a website, a blog, if you love movies, start a blog. I always say that. Or start a YouTube channel, man. But there's a lot of different ways that you can get a screener for sure. Mike says, have you considered doing watch-along live streams? I'm thinking Hereditary here. Mike, it's funny because I did those on Patreon for quite a while. We haven't done one in about a month and a half on Patreon. We did do one on Discord, I believe the month before last, or maybe even last month. We did Jurassic Park. But that is something that the next one I want to do on Patreon, and the link is in the description where we are. If you're just joining, we are doing a bit of a giveaway on Patreon. Actually, you know what? Y'all here. Let me pull one of these items out. Let me show. So one of the items that I'm giving away on Patreon with our giveaway is this little number. Okay, that's all I'm going to show. That's all I'm going to show. And that's one of the 6 items that will be on the Patreon giveaway. So we also do watch-alongs on there. The next one I want to do is the Trial of the Chicago 7. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks on Patreon. And we do live streams all the time. So Mike, maybe one on YouTube eventually, but as of right now, they're Patreon specific. Ryan says, have you seen Ghost in the Shell, the anime movie, or the live action one? Yes, both actually. Love the anime. I think it's one of the better animes of all time. I wouldn't put it in like my top three, but I do love the original anime. The movie, the live action movie, was okay. It was okay. Didn't love it. Didn't hate it. Scarlett Johansson was fine. I just, they could have done some things better to capture the essence and the spirit of the original anime. Do you collect physical media? I don't collect physical media, but I do have a lot of physical media. I'm the kind of person that I will not buy something on Blu-ray unless I absolutely love it. And, once I buy it, then it goes in the mini shelves that I have over there or the closet that I have over there. But I wouldn't say I collect them like I do pop figures, only because the price difference. And, my wife and I are like, let's save money. But I do have quite a bit of Blu-rays. And I've said before, this is something that I do want to show off at some point when I feel like my collection is competent enough. Let's see. Jared Smith says, have you seen the new film Let Him Go yet? No, I did have the opportunity to. Didn't get to watch it. I heard pretty good things. That is the Kevin Costner one, I believe. So that's the one that I'm thinking. And I want to see it. There are a couple movies before the year comes to an end that I want to see. I want to make my letterbox list as big as I possibly can. So that's kind of the goal. Let me make sure, by the way, that I don't have any Streamlabs. If you guys use Streamlabs, I do have a link in the description. Instead of the Super Chat method, We don't have any. Okay, I think we're good there. But yeah, I want to see Let Him Go. I want to see a couple movies before the year comes to an end that I haven't seen. Maybe I'll do a video on all the movies I missed. I think that would be fun. Burt Boy 56, very nice. Thank you, Burt Boy. Interstellar or Tenet? Man. I got to go Interstellar. Listen, I loved Tenet. I did. I think there were some, some issues that I don't have in a movie like Interstellar for sure, but I did. I loved Tenet. Interstellar though, that movie is growing on me like a parasite, just continuing to, I watch it, I think about it, I want to go back and watch it, then I watch it again and I like it even more. That's kind of what Interstellar has done to me. So I'm a huge fan, and it's definitely up there on my Christopher Nolan list. Do more Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, HBO Max, and Apple TV show reviews. Yeah, Apple's coming. I just, got with the screeners. So what Apple offers is screeners recently. So definitely going to do more Apple things. And then Hulu, Run, the brand new film this week, and The Animaniacs. I will have an early review for you guys. I'm actually going to finish the show today. So be on the lookout for my Animaniacs and Run reviews. Hulu. Those are going to be pretty exciting reviews for sure. Let me make sure I don't have any more chats, guys. We do have best sitcom of all time. Not the best, but my favorite is The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I love that show. And the reunion. So excited for the reunion. I can't wait. Let's see. Finn says, I got 2 questions answered in one live stream and another chat, Finn, because I just clicked on this one. But yeah, if you guys are wondering, the chats move so fast. I try my best to get to everything that I can. If it disappears without spamming, you can re-ask your question again in a few minutes. That way I can get to it. So I appreciate you guys. You've been really, really awesome today. Some great questions. What's your favorite genre? Oh, man. I love war movies. I love war movies. My favorite genre, though, has to be a good thriller. I love a good thriller, whether it's a David Fincher-esque thriller or just a really dark and gritty thriller. Speaking of dark, my camera just went out for half a second. I love a good thriller. So that's kind of the genre of choice. I'm also a big superhero fan and a big war fan. So those are kind of the genres that I gravitate towards. Let's see. Can we have a link to the Discord? Yeah, I don't have one on hand, but let me put that when this video comes back available in the timeline and the subscription feed. Once it's processed, come back and I'll have that as my pinned comment, a link to the Discord. So yes. Thank you for letting me know. And there may be one in the description. Let me see if there's one in the description. If there's not, I'll have that in the pinned comment. So check the description, come back to the pinned comment, and I'll have that for you, my friend. Let's see. Congrats on 75K, says Elizabeth. Also, what's 2 villains you would love to see have a full-on fight to the death from any media, movie, comics? Let's go with, oh man, this is tough. I would love to see, Sauron and the Emperor. Wouldn't that be cool? I don't know how it would work, because obviously Sauron is what Sauron is, but I think that would be cool. Then we've got someone like, I'd love to see Heath Ledger's Joker versus Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. Heath Ledger's Joker, Anton Chigurh. Oh, man, that would be such an even, terrifying matchup. That would be super cool. So I think that's a really, really fun question. Thank you, Elizabeth. Upcoming A24. Yeah, I think I may be able to see Saint Maud pretty soon. So if I don't have one, a review on YouTube, look for that on Letterboxd. I will have one hopefully on Letterboxd. Oh, and by the way, here is my Letterboxd page. As you can see, I've got my favorite movies of the year right there. And the films that I've watched recently, spoiling my review for Hillbilly Elegy. And then I've got a lot of lists. So if you guys have Letterboxd, please check that out. And let's make sure we don't have any more super chats. I think we've got one here from Believe in the Hype. Do you like 90s cartoon? Oh. Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, Ed, Ed and Eddie. The ads are my favorite. 90s Cartoon Network is just the best. I mean, I grew up on 90s Cartoon Network. That, you got a little SpongeBob from Nickelodeon, got some Kim Possible from Disney. I mean, that's my go-to. And then Boomerang. Don't get me started on Boomerang. Okay, the Flintstones, the Jetsons. Heck, I watched the Smurfs. I love stuff like that. Okay, so 90s Cartoon Network. That's where it's at. Believe in the hype, man. That is absolutely where it's at. Alex says, if you watched the first 3 episodes of the FX on Hulu series, A Teacher. Oh, I didn't. I'm beating myself up over that. And if you did, what's your opinion on it? If not, will you watch it? Yeah, I want to watch it. So when the show finishes, I want to have a review up for you. So I'm going to try my best. Don't hold me to this because there's a lot of stuff. I'm going to try my best to finish that and get a review of the entire season for you guys because I'm very interested in A Teacher. My apologies, man. I was beating myself up over that. Jared Smith says, have you been to Galaxy's Edge? It is nerd heaven. Yes, I did. Got the opportunity to go for free, and it was great. It was nerd heaven. It's everything you imagine. It's everything you see on the promos. Man, it was awesome. It was awesome. I got to go for free. I was actually doing a little bit of a gig there, and man, Galaxy's Edge was just the best of times. It was so cool. Very long lines, but it's okay. That's something you got to deal with. The coolest thing was, though, when the ride, I think it's called the Rise of the Resistance, when that ride opened up. So at 9 a.m., it opens up for you to reserve a spot for. So everyone's on their phones in the theme park, ready to reserve a spot. So 9 a.m. hit, and my friend, she was sitting there, and she hit the button. And you start hearing everyone around the park celebrate, like, yays, screams. And we're like, are those celebrations that they got on the ride, which is how popular that ride is? And then we got in, we screamed, and the ride was like this 5-minute, I won't spoil anything, but just one of the coolest things I've ever done. So that was awesome. That was awesome for sure. Let's see, guys. We do have a couple people saying stop spamming. Yes, if you do not mind, please do not spam questions. Please do not spam questions over and over. I will not answer them just because that's kind of keeping some other people from putting in questions and whatnot. So, but thank you for asking them. Thank you for wanting to ask the question. I appreciate that. Let's see. Favorite cinematographer other than Roger Deakins? Oh, Fraser's a good one. That's a good one, man. Man, that's a good one. Let me see. Denis Villeneuve. I'll just say Denis Villeneuve. He has a couple of cinematographers, but some very consistent cinematographers. I just love the look to Denis Villeneuve's movies. Obviously, he's my favorite director, but his cinematographers always do a wonderful job. It's hard not to go with Deakins. Man, Fraser's a good one though. Dune, the Batman. I told my wife, I'm like, you're going to see some consistencies between the Batman and Dune. And she said, how so? And then I told her it's the same cinematographer. And then I didn't realize that this cinematographer had done Rogue One. So I saw that on his IMDb and I'm like, come on now. Like, that is just awesome. So my two of my most anticipated movies are the same cinematographer. So that is a pretty cool thing to have for sure. Let's see. I don't want to miss this from Mike. Thoughts on the new Saved by the Bell? And your take, is Zach Morris trash? I'm not like crazy excited for the new one. Is Zach Morris trash? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Probably. But Saved by the Bell, I wasn't a huge fan of the show only because I just didn't watch it all that often as a kid growing up. But I'm not crazy excited about this new one because what the original does have is it does have the magic and it does capture the time period really well. So we'll see. We'll see if the new one has something and garners a new fan base, because I think that's the important aspect is, does it bring in old fans? Great. Does it bring in new fans? I think that's important. So we'll see, Mike. But I'm definitely interested to see why they decided to remake that or reboot that technically. Matthew says, all-time favorite DreamWorks animated movie. Good question, Matthew. I love Shrek. I'm a big Shrek fan. Sure, great memes. Okay, we love some Shrek memes, but Shrek 1 and 2, this is like the OGs for me, right? And then you have How to Train Your Dragon. You can't go wrong with How to Train Your Dragon. Some of the best, I think, amongst the best trilogies of all time. We were talking trilogies a while ago. I definitely put that on there. And those two, I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of Shrek 3 and 4, but I don't think they were tragedies like a lot of people think. So first two Shreks, How to Train Your Dragons, those are my favorites. Let's see. We believe in the hype. Don't want to miss this one here. Yeah. Mount Rushmore of actors. Mount Rushmore of actors. Denzel, De Niro, Pacino, and then Brad Pitt or Leo would be the fourth. Oh, who's my Mount Rushmore? Let's do, since it's hard to go all-timers, let's do a right now Mount Rushmore. So actors that are like in their prime right now, crushing it, in and out. You know, it's hard to put Jim Carrey on there, but I think from Eternal Sunshine to all of his comedies, and it's hard not to put him on. But right now, I would say Jake Gyllenhaal. Daniel Day-Lewis is retired. Can't do him for right now. I would say, man, maybe Joaquin Phoenix. I might put Joaquin Phoenix up there. I think he's phenomenal. Obviously, Leo is going to go up there. And Brad Pitt, you know, it's hard not to put Brad Pitt, especially Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I thought he was phenomenal. Mount Rushmore. I mean, De Niro, but then he's doing some, you know, some movies that maybe aren't the best and making some strange decision. All-time De Niro, yes. But right now, De Niro, I'm not for sure. Who would be a good fourth person for that? I don't know who would be a good fourth person for that. That's tough. Let me know who your Mount Rushmore would be in the chat below, and I'll definitely see who I would pick as my fourth person. Since we've got, let's try not to spam here, guys. Let's try, but I'll go ahead. I'll get to it. How would it look if David Fincher directed Don't Breathe? It would be interesting. It would be interesting for sure. I think Don't Breathe works the way it is. Maybe David Fincher doing the sequel to Don't Breathe, but no, I think it would definitely be. I think David Fincher's dark tone works really well with something like a Don't Breathe, which is an interesting spin on the horror movie. So I appreciate that. Let's see. I want to get Believe in the Hype again because he did do a super chat. Make sure. Austin, you need wrenches, man. Does that mean like people who control the chat room? Because there's a little spammy spam going on. It's okay. Let's try not to spam here, guys. It's okay. Let's see. I like this. Oh, it's gone. Let's try another one. A lot of questions coming in, guys. It's hard to get to all of them. Let's see. Oh, I just got my screener for The Princess Switch switched again. So it's the third one, and this time there's 3 Vanessa Hudgens. Because she switched again. Oh, man. What are some of the costs of being a YouTube critic? I feel like we could do more with sending super chats to help out. Oh, well, again, super chats are always a choice. I ain't forcing nobody to do anything. You heard my Kentucky accent. I ain't doing it. No, but I just appreciate you guys sending super chats. But in terms of the cost of being a YouTube critic, now, normally I would factor in the drive that I have to make to watch an early screening, because the drive that I have to make to watch any early screening that is not digital is 3 hours, because I live in Kentucky, and Kentucky does not like having early screenings, right? So you see other film critics, and I'll use 3C Films. He wouldn't mind. He's one of my best buds. I'll use him for example. He lives in Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas has early screenings. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. The nearest place for me to watch an early screening is Nashville. That's 3 hours. So that's a lot of driving. It's a lot of money. And frankly, now in my heart, it's worth it. But if you go by the money, frankly, it is not worth me driving that far to watch an early screening, unless, you know, obviously it's the new Avengers movie, right? But again, because I love doing this, I'm willing to make that drive. So in terms of the cost, gas, new equipment, which I'm constantly getting. I want a new set of lights because these lights are a little bit overpowering. I want to make that a bit better. Still working on that new microphone. We're always just upgrading equipment, and I hope to have a little. I don't want to say it. One of these days, I hope to have a little studio of my own. Just instead of just a random apartment room or apartment building, I want to have a studio of my own. So I think that would be super fun. 3C Films we've thrown out 3C Films and we've thrown out like, what if we had our own studio in Texas and I moved there one day, like all this fun stuff. But hopefully one of these days I'll have something of my own. Yeah, I just appreciate all the chats, just the normal chats. And then if it's the super chat, awesome. It does nothing but help out the channel. So I appreciate it. Big Play 08 says top 5 favorite Star Wars characters ranked. Oh, I love this. I love this. Oh, let's see. Man, I've got to go, I'm going to be cliche with this. I'm going to say Luke Skywalker. Man, Han Solo. This is such a cliche list. Palpatine, all the OG characters, okay? But I do love Kanan. I'm a big Kanan fan. I think Ahsoka has really, really grown on me. I really like The Mandalorian just in general. We're not there yet to the point where I can say we've had enough of him for me to say, oh, Mandalorian's my favorite character, but I really like The Mandalorian. I've never been too big on someone like a Boba Fett, not a big Boba Fett guy, but maybe we're going to get there with The Mandalorian, right? If we're, kind of pushing that direction. So I really love a lot of the Star Wars characters. It's hard to do top 5 off the bat, but I'd put Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan at the top. Those are just kind of the 2 OG Jedis for me. From the new trilogy, I loved Rey. I did. Now, her character progression in the second 2 movies, some things in there that I didn't love, but I still think Daisy Ridley's portrayal of Rey was fantastic. And K2SO is a great one. So a lot of great Star Wars channels for sure. Let's keep going here, guys. We do have Orion says, I think we hit 150 likes on this live stream, or we're getting close. We're getting close. So yeah, if we can hit 150, man, that would be awesome. And that would help out this video. It's like the milestones for YouTube. If you hit 100, if you hit 150, if you hit 200, they're going to recommend your video more, which is kind of crazy, but that's how it works. So yeah, that would be, if I can hit that milestone in this video, that would be awesome. I appreciate it, guys, big time. Oh man, how much do lights cost? I just got a job and I should get my first salary before Christmas. I feel like giving something since you give awesome content. Your passion is contagious. No, I could not ask you to buy those lights for me, Irvin. I could not ask you those. The ones that I want are around $200 a piece. So it's a very expensive thing. I could not possibly ask you to do that. So thank you so much though, for the offer, but just keep sending the chats. If you're on Patreon, and you want to enter in the giveaways, do the live streams and all those things, but I could not possibly ask you to buy something like that for me. That's very expensive. I appreciate it though. Let's see. Most overrated Disney movie. Ooh, overrated, man. You could technically say the Lion King remake because it made so much money, but in terms of critic reception, not really, because it didn't do that great. Most overrated Disney movie. I don't love. Oh man, I don't love like Pocahontas as much as everybody else does. I think Pocahontas is good, but I don't love it. I'm not even like the craziest of Cinderella fans. Cinderella fan. Yeah, I like Cinderella a lot, but I don't love it. And this is a hot take though. I do like the Jungle Book remake more than Jungle Book. I love the original Jungle Book, but I like the remake more. So that's a hot take. It's the only remake that I like more. So that tells you something. Let's see. Well, Frozen, I like Frozen. I don't love Frozen. So maybe for me, Frozen is a bit overrated. I'm Team Tangled. Team Tangled all the way. Winter Soldier or Logan. Oh, Matthews. Movie review. That's tough. Got to go Logan. But it's very, very close. Very close. Logan is a beast of a film. It's just a beast. I think everything about it, the way that his character, where that goes, it's 3 years old. Shouldn't have to spoil it, but where that goes, I think is beautiful and gets me every time, man. I get emotional every single time I watch that movie. It is tragic. Tragic for sure. Let's see. Favorite franchise. Man, I love the MCU. I love the MCU. It's hard not to go with the MCU. Big Star Wars guy. Is the Cornetto trilogy a franchise? I don't think it is, but it should be if it is. Let's see. Man, favorite though. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. Hey, my wife and I are doing a Harry Potter watch along right now with ourselves, just us two. But we've already watched the first 2. We did Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets. So we're kind of moving our way through those. And hopefully I'll do a little bit of a ranking video when we get done with those, because I've never ranked Harry Potter on my channel. So yeah, really fun franchise to get through. I completed watching Blade Runner 2049 and Arrival. We'll be watching Prisoners tomorrow. Super excited for that. Shashank, awesome, man. And it's funny, you were on the Patreon live stream. We were talking Denis Villeneuve movies, and I'm glad you were able to go watch 2049 and Arrival. And I think those are the first two that I recommended. So, hey, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Let me know what you think of Prisoners as well. I'll be posting on Patreon later today. So get on there and let me know, Shashank. I appreciate that. Let's see, man. I've heard great things about Valley of Tears. I've heard great things. So hopefully I'm going to check it out. It's got a really high score on IMDb. So that's one that I'm really excited for. Favorite modern filmmaker, it is Denis Villeneuve. I just love him so much as a director. I think he's phenomenal. But Fincher and Nolan, man, they are not far behind. They are not far behind. What is the most, here we go. Get Out or Us? I love this. What are your thoughts on the announcement of Peele's next horror film? Talked about it a little bit last week, Lucas, but man, I'm so excited. I love the idea that the main character is just this Walmart employee. I think that's great. So random, feels like a Key and Peele skit, but got to go Get Out. Got to go Get Out. I'm actually a fan of Us. I really am. But Get Out is amazing. It's amazing. It's so ahead of its time. I even like it more now than I did. One of my favorite movies of that year. Inception or Seven? Inception or Seven? I got to go Inception. I think Seven may be, in terms of quality, they're neck and neck, but I got to go Inception. It just means a bit more to me. But I'll tell you what, I watched Seven for the second time recently, only my second time ever, and it got significantly better. So ask me that question in a couple of years, because Seven is a phenomenal movie. I think it's fantastic. All right, guys, we are at the hour mark. Oh, my goodness. Are we already at the hour mark? That's crazy. Before we go, I'm going to answer a couple more questions, just a few more. But I did buy myself a pop figure. So I want to take it out of the box. I've never done a live unboxing. And I know this isn't part of the description, but we're gonna take it out of the box. Now, I know what it is. It's not a surprise, but you guys don't know what it is. And I want to see. This is my first time seeing what it looks like, though. So I bought myself. Let me get out of that. I bought myself this here pop figure, which is an Amazon exclusive. It is Han Solo with the tauntaun. I don't know if you can see this here. He is holding the lightsaber. When he takes it, he just right in the stomach. I saw this on Amazon and I could not resist. I'm like, I don't have a Han Solo pop figure. I do have a couple of Star Wars pop figures, but I do not have a Han Solo, man. So I saw that and I'm trying to get his little lightsaber. You can see it there. And I'm like, I have to have that. And, I hit 75K, so can't kind of spoil myself a little bit, which is exactly what I'm doing. So here, guys, let me make sure we're not spamming in the chat. Okay. Take that away. But yes, guys, I thank you, Paul, who says that's a good pop figure. I really, really wanted to have that in my little mini collection. So that's exactly what I did. So, and thanks to you guys for kind of supporting when I did that pop figure unboxing video. That was super fun, and it will cause me to do more in the future, especially on something like a Patreon or yeah. So thank you guys so much. All right. I want to get a couple more before we go here, guys, because we've hit the hour mark. I went over what I said I was going to do, and I do have a review to get out to you guys. It is a review for the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special. I was able to check that out, so if you're not doing much later on today, you want to go support that video, drop it a comment or a thumbs up. I appreciate that big time. The Lego Star Wars Special. It's going to be an interesting review for sure. All right. Oh, this is fun. Sonic or Mario? Oh, man. I think I'm going to go Mario. I've always been a Mario guy. Listen, I love Sonic. Apologies. I love Sonic. I do. But I think I'm going to go Mario. Something like a Double Dash or a Super Smash Bros. Used to play Mario all the time. But now, Captain Falcon is my guy. What did you think of The Prestige? I love it. I love it, Diane. I think The Prestige is one of Nolan's better movies. I think it's one of Nolan's underrated movies. Didn't do all that well at the box office, surprisingly. So I am a big fan of The Prestige. Soon you're going to be filming inside of a pop figure labyrinth. Yes, I hope so. One of these days. Watch Scam 1992. Yeah, so I've had a lot of requests to watch Scam. I have, but the thing where it's available is actually not available in the United States. Now, I think it is on Sling TV, but I don't have Sling TV, and I don't really want to buy Sling TV. So I am interested for sure, but I have to wait until it comes to the US, and I'm not watching it illegally because I don't like doing things like that. Let's see. I want to get to a couple more guys. I do have a couple people spamming in here. Let's see. What is the best way to watch the Blade Runner movies? Should I watch the first one and then the second, or vice versa? Yeah, just go 1 and 2. 1 and 2. I will tell you though. I do think 2 does a really good job of catching you up. So if something comes down and you don't have a lot of time and you're like, oh, I got to choose one, I think you can watch 2 and get away with it, because 2 is by far my favorite Blade Runner. I think 2049 is, as close to a masterpiece as you're going to get. But if you have time, watch 1 and then 2. I think that's the perfect way to do it. All right, guys, barring any super chats, I'm going to answer one more question. And so let's make sure I can find a good one after this, because I have seen this one a couple times. Have you seen Synecdoche, New York, or A Brighter Summer Day? Tied as my favorites of all time. Have not seen A Brighter Summer Day. I have not seen that film. But Synecdoche, New York, I have seen it. And it is awesome. Philip Seymour Hoffman in that movie is top-notch. Just amazing. So I'm interested to see what Kaufman does next. I'm interested to see if anything he does can ever live up to. And I don't want to say maybe it's his best movie, because I still think Eternal Sunshine is his most well-written movie. But Synecdoche has to be the one that has the most talk surrounding it, just because of how crazy the movie is and how it plays out. So it is a great. Great. Matt says, well, answer the questions and there won't be spamming. Listen, man, I can't give in to that, man. I can't give in to that. Can't be spamming on here. But yes, there are a lot of questions for sure. But some of them, man, when people tell me, oh, you didn't answer my questions, they go by, man. The program that I'm using, they come probably 10, 15 at a time. So they're gone. But when it spams, then it's hard for me to see the other questions. So, but no, I'm trying to get to as many as I can. I'm trying to get to as many as I can. But when they're spamming, I just don't like people. I don't like the spammers, unfortunately. Let's see. Favorite Wes Anderson film from Lucas. I want to save it. Because when we get his next movie, then I'm going to have my list. But I mentioned before, I'll mention again, Grand Budapest is moving up my list. I love A Moonrise Kingdom. I love I've got quite a few. Paid to have questions answered. No thanks. I'll go buy a coffee. You'll walk by the coffee, Matt. Don't walk by the coffee. Drink the coffee, Matt. No, you don't have to pay. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here, man. So, but I appreciate everyone who is asking questions, and I appreciate everyone who supports the channel by asking the questions, but no one is required to do anything. But again, if I miss the question, it is because they just flying on through. But I appreciate you guys nonetheless. All right, guys. I keep saying it, last question, but you guys are asking really good questions. So let's do one more. Barring any super chats. All right. Oh gosh. Oh, this one's fun. So Superbad or I like that chat. Superbad or The Hangover. Which one would you pick? Ooh, man. Oh gosh, I don't know. That's tough. I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go Superbad. Listen, I think The Hangover is great. It's hilarious. But Superbad is one of those movies that I kind of grew up with. So, not that I was that age, but I was like a little below that age. I was looking up to the high school kids. I'm like, oh, I can be cool. And then I see this wacky and crazy movie with so many people who went on to be some of the best comedians in the business. And it is absolutely hilarious. Now, I still think The Hangover is great, but maybe the sequels came along and I didn't love the movie as much as I didn't love those movies as much as I loved the first. But Superbad, standalone, so funny, hilarious, fantastic. So I got to go with Superbad. And we do have one more super chat from Shashank, who says, good pop figure. talking about the Mount Rushmore of actors, I would add Tom. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. And Jake Gyllenhaal, your thoughts? Yeah, Gyllenhaal right now is on my Mount Rushmore just because I love Gyllenhaal so much, man. I really do. I think he's great. He's very underrated. Something like a Nightcrawler, I think he should have got nominated for, and the guy should have multiple nominations, maybe a win or two, and not looked down upon at all. But he's doing the smart thing. He's doing all of these independent movies, and then he's Mysterio. He's doing all these independent movies, then he's in a blockbuster. So I think he's got the perfect career path. And I am a massive fan of what he does. And I will, you know what, Matt? I'll answer the question, even though you got angry at me, but I'll still answer the question. No, good question. Hulu versus Netflix. Man, I think Netflix has a wider array of content. I mean, Hulu is very television show specific, which is good, right? It's a very niche and it knows its audience. And there's some great originals on there. I told you we're going to be talking about Animaniacs here. Not to spoil my thoughts, but we're going to be talking about Animaniacs here and a movie called Run. But I think Netflix just has a little bit of everything. And it's kind of not fair to say it has a wider array of content. So I'm going to go Netflix right now, but I think both are really good. I keep saying I'm done. I'm getting good questions. Out of the 8 Harry Potter films, because I said I was watching Harry Potter, which one is my favorite? Well, since I'm doing the list, I don't know if I want to spoil that. I'll give you 2. And that way, when you tune in, you can see one that I love. Deathly Hallows Part 2, Prisoner of Azkaban. Those are my 2 faves. Now, which one do I prefer? Okay, that's even one that I need to think about, but I love Deathly Hallows Part 2. I love Prisoner of Azkaban. So I think that's it, guys. I keep going. I say I'm going to stop, and I keep going, but I don't think we have any more super chats. Answered a lot of chat questions today. Went 12 minutes over what I said I was going to do. And I really appreciate you guys so much for tuning in today. And like I said, I do want to do a little something maybe later on this week. Maybe myself and someone from YouTube coming in with me, and we're gonna do some fun stuff for a live stream. And I really do appreciate you guys big time for supporting this channel and getting the channel to 75K, obviously. Getting this video to 150 likes, man, it helps out so much. And I know I always say it and it seems cheesy and this and that, but I would not be here without you all, and I would not be a film critic without you all. So you guys are the best. Leave your chats at the end here. I'm going to be putting them on screen, your goodbyes, whatever you want to say. Apologies again to not getting to every question. My goal here is to get to as many as I possibly can. And if I see one that comes across the screen really quickly and I like it, I'm going to click on it. I'm losing my voice. But you guys are the best. Appreciate it. Stay tuned later on today. My review for the Lego Star Wars special. And also, do not forget, we are doing a giveaway on Patreon, which is what I showed off a bit earlier. And a big congratulations to my last giveaway winner, Ace, who received that Deathstroke DVD. So you guys are the best. Appreciate it big time. And I will see you hopefully later on today. Strawberry